Hello, everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of the Advanced CapCut for Video Editing tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 8, where I'll be showing you guys about smooth zoom in and zoom out effect. Okay, so we'll be learning about all that right over here. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So over here on my screen, as you guys can see, this is the home page of CapCut. Okay. So from here, basically, if I do want to create up a new project, let's click on new project or create project, which will basically redirect me into my interface right over here. Okay. So the first thing is going to be importing. Okay. So let's click on import. Let's go to my desktop file right over here, and from here, let's go to my resource file. And underneath over here, you guys can see that I do have these videos. Okay. So from here, let's take this particular video. Let's click on open. And now this particular video is being opened right over here. So now from here, let's say I do want to trim the video a little bit. Okay. Let's say I do want to trim it around 30 seconds. And now if I just click onto this plus button, here you guys can see the total duration of the video is 29 seconds and 28 frames. Okay, because over here you guys can actually get information about this video as well. But the thing what we are gonna work over here is basically that how you will be able to work with this footage. Okay, like how you will be able to give this a zoom in and zoom out effect. But before that, if I just play this video, let's say here you guys can see this particular video is not that stable. You guys can see the camera, it's not basically that stable. So to make this particular footage more stable, in that case, what I'm gonna do is I'll come here into my properties panel, and from my properties panel, let's go to the video option. From there, I will just go to basic, and under basic, let's come down, and over here you guys can see that you do have that option known as stabilize. So I'll just tick mark the stabilize option, and over here you guys can see it's basically stabilizing. So I can actually choose what kind of level of stabilize do I want. Okay, the one which is recommended, or the minimum cut, or the most stable available. So let me just give the recommended one, which is the medium level of stabilization, which will try to fix out most of the problem or most of the shakiness of my video. So over here, you guys can see, so the processing might take some time depending on the size of the video, because it analyzes the whole thing and then it tries to stabilize the whole video right over here itself. Okay. So from here now, we will try to understand about that particular zoom in and zoom out effect. Okay, so let's wait for it, and here it's almost done 100%. Okay, so I'll just wait for this one, and I'll show you once it's stabilized how it looks. So here you guys can see now this particular footage is being stabilized, and now if I just play here, you guys can see the video over here has been stabilized to quite a lot extent. Okay, so this one actually looks quite amazing. So now the next thing what I'm gonna do is, once this is stabilized, let's work with the zoom in and the zoom out effect. Okay. So first thing first, let's go to the starting of the frame. And over here, what I want to do is I do want to scale this one so up. And now I do want to get it back as well. So for that, let's come here. Let's go to the scale option. And from the scale option, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to just move it through the y-axis. Okay. Or I will just go back over here in the y-axis right over here at this particular part. Let me just get this one at minus 80. Okay, so now if you do want to scale this one up a little bit as well, okay, let me just move this frame down Okay, so I'll just move this frame down as well. Let me just scale this to 150. So once I'm done right over here, let me add up this particular keyframe from here. So once I click on keyframe over here also, you guys will notice in my timeline that a keyframe is basically being added at the start. Okay. So once I do have added this one, let's come here a few frames forward. Okay. So I will just come right over here a few frames forward, and now I'm going to go back to 100%. Okay, so let's go to 100, and if you just click on enter, that is how it looks. And I'm going to decrease the size quite like this over here as well. So let me just play this thing up how it actually looks. So this one is basically the zoom in effect, okay, like zoom out effect. Okay, so at the same time, if you do want it to move faster, let's say you want it to zoom in faster. So this is how you guys can actually do. Okay. And also after that, if you do want to zoom out again, let's say what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and slowly I want it to disappear. So let's say I will come to this particular point, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another keyframe right over here. And lastly, what I'm going to do is at this particular point, I'm going to make it as a whole zero. Let's just scale it down totally. Okay. So now let's see the whole preview. So this is basically the zoom in effect right over here. And slowly it will just move on, as you guys can see. Okay. And last, let me just bring it right over here. And now let's take a look. If I just play this one, slowly it will just move out. So you guys can actually use this one quite over here. Okay. So now, once you are done, if you select this one, okay, you guys can basically work. Okay. And at the same time, if you want to add on some animation, you guys can come here and you guys can basically add on some animation as well. Okay. Let's go with this fade and stuff option. Okay. Let's go with this one. Okay, let's come with this one right over here. So I'll just use this one, and for out over here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come right over here. Let's check this one. So let's come here, and now I will just take this out again. Otherwise, let's select this one. Okay, so I'll just select this one and apply it right over here again. Okay, so this is how it will start. Okay, so the same thing basically you guys can actually apply for text as well. Okay, so let's come here, let's try to apply it on a text. So for that, let's come here, let's select text, and from here now let's zoom in and let's apply the zoom out effect. So now let's go to default text, and what I'm gonna do is let's enjoy life. So I'll just use this particular phrase right over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this thing up. Let's go to the font option, and you guys can just use this text right over here. Okay. But now at the same time, what I'm going to do is let's come here. Let's change out the color. So let's come here. Let's enjoy life. Let's go to the font size. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and let's make it 13. And what I'm gonna do is let's come back right over here. Let's place it at this particular point. And at the same time, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna place it right over here on top. Okay. So I'll just put this particular text right over here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zoom in and zoom out that as well. Okay. So from here, I will just start it very slow and very small from here. Okay. So for that, now let's click on shift. What it will do is it will just come here and it will just snap. Okay, so I'll just come here and I'll just snap. And what I'm gonna do is under this font size, basically, I can just put out an effect. Okay, let's say if I come right over here and under transform option, under scaling, you guys can see that I do have this keyframe. Okay, so now the uniform scaling is open. So let me come here, let me add this particular keyframe. And now let's just decrease the size. Okay, so from here, now I will just decrease the size. And now what I'm gonna do is let me just come right over here at this particular point. And over here, now let me just put 155. Okay, so 155. And let's click on enter. Okay, let's see how it actually looks. So let me just play this right over here. And now slowly you guys can see that your text will just zoom in. And at the same time, if you do want to zoom out as well, let's come here and let me just place this right over here. Let me just come over here again. And what I'm gonna do is let's add another keyframe. Let's add this particular keyframe. And lastly, I do want to zoom this one out as well. Okay, so let me add this one right over here as 55. And I'll just click on enter right over here again. Okay, so now let's see how it actually looks. Okay, so if you don't want to see this, so I can come here and I can just turn back the lock again from here. Okay, you guys can just come here and you guys can unlock this again as well. Okay, so for that, now let's go back over here and now this is turned back on again. So now you guys can just play it and over here now you guys will see that it will go down back again. Okay, so this is how it will actually work. So this is the zoom in and the zoom out effect. At the same time, let's select this. And from here, if you do want to do some tracking, you guys can also do that. Okay. And also for the opacity, let's come here. Let's click on shift and over here. Now I will just decrease the opacity to 0 and let me add up a keyframe. And what I'm going to do is once I come to this particular part, okay, so I'll just make the opacity as 100. Okay, so I'll just add this keyframe right over here. Let me just come here and let me just play this. Okay, and now you guys can see the zoom effect. And also over here on my text, you guys can see the zoom effect quite effectively. Okay, so now at the same time, let's come here, let's select this. If you want to add on some shadow or any kind of curve into your text, you guys can also do that right over here. So this is basically about the zoom in and the zoom out effect, but this one looks a bit dull because at the same time, what I want to do is I want to actually put on some sound effects as well. Okay, so now let's type zoom over here. Okay, so once I type zoom under the music or the audio, you guys can see that over here I do have different options. So for that, let's download this one and let's try to play.
Zoom in and zoom out.
So yeah, let's put this one. So let's come here. Let's place this one over here. And let's place this. Let's come right over here. And now let's play this one. And now again, what I'll do is I'll come here. And now again, I will just click on Alt and I'll just duplicate this one. And maybe at the same time, I will just put it right over here again. Okay, so now I will come here. I will just select this one. Let's click on Alt and I'll just keep this one over here again. And yeah, this one kind of looks good. So I'll just click on Alt again and I'll just place it right over here. So now this is basically done, but what I want is this is just going to be the music effect. But now over here, let's go with modeling. Okay, so let's come here and let's type modeling. Let's click on enter and let's see what kind of audios do I get over here right now. Okay, so now let's play this one. Let's play this music up. Let's come here. So yeah, this music sounds good as well. So let's come here and now I will just put out my music right over here back again. Okay, so now let me just place it right over here. And at the same time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and let's say I will just decrease this to 6.5. Okay, so the same way I will just come here and just apply the same thing. Okay, so let's go with 6.5, 6.5, enter. Let's go to this point and over here as well, 6.4 is good. And the same way, let's come down over here back again. And let's go with minus 6.4. Okay, so let's click enter again and let's see how it actually sounds. So yeah, I hope you guys do have understood this particular class. But this particular site, it's actually looking that I don't have much effects right over here. This particular place is looking a bit dull. So to do that, let's go to effects and over here you guys can see that I do have different kind of video effects. Okay. So in that particular case, if you do want to come here, let's say if you do want to apply any of this, or let's say, let's come here and now if you want to have this edge glow option, I can come here and at this particular place, let's place it over here. Let's increase the size and after that, let's play this one up. And here you guys can see how it actually looks. Okay, so you guys can apply this, otherwise you guys can apply different options as well. Okay, if you do want to download over here, you guys can see. Okay, so here you guys can see that you do have this particular effect as well, which is the halo. So you guys can place this right over here. Let's select this edge glow. Let's select this particular part. And now again at the same time, just increase the size. Okay, let's say I will just increase it. Now let's play this. So this one also gives you some cinematic look over here. Okay, let's say I will just place it right over here. And again, I will click on Alt and place it over here back again. Okay, so let there be some gap in between. So yeah, I hope this class was basically clear on how you can actually create a zoom in and a zoom out effect. So over here, I do have make you guys understand about the sound effect and also as the main audio over here. So yeah, I hope to see you all in the next chapter where we'll be learning more about CapCut. So see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone.